back, talk shit, stay facts. Hoopty, new me, new whip, you'll see. Chasing, racing, you a trip. Take a sip a little bit. Catch me in that whip when I'm swerving. Swerving. Catch me in that whip when I'm swerving.
El Barrio, Spanish Harlem, is like real essential to me because, you know, I grew up in this area like for a long time. Right now we about to go to the block where my grandmother actually used to live at, and like the place where everyone knew everyone. This shit, like, it's a hard area, you know. Not everyone got it like that. Everyone is just trying to find a way out. People, you know, selling drugs trying to get their way out. Other people doing their music trying to get out. People working a regular 9 to 5 trying to get their way out. And you know, it's a rough city.
Can I come through? Follow me on Instagram.
Like, we was going out to the basketball court. It was like a lot of, you know, shit going on. You know, everyone knew everyone, and it was like a family thing. It kind of influenced my music because like it's just seeing change. So like it gives, like, from when I was younger and stuff, you notice different things, and then as the years go by, things start to change. And it also came to my music, like things start to change, like the content, and it just inspired me, like, you know, I gotta find some way to get out the hood. You know, like, even if it's with school or without school, I need something to keep me, like, literally out the streets. A lot of people from the east side of Harlem, matter of fact, New York City in general, they get locked into the streets. When they get locked into the streets, it's over. Like, they think the streets is all they know. If it's hustling, gang banging, whatever they gotta do to, you know, survive. This is like the jungle. Whatever you gotta do to survive, they find a way. And not every way is like the right way. You know, I just found like music was the key. Like, music is, you know, it speaks to the people, everyone can relate, especially like when I'm talking about, when I'm conscious, everyone can relate. Because everyone is from, like, if you're from Harlem, you can relate. If you're from the Bronx, you can relate. If you're from, you know, New York City, you can relate. The tri-state area, you might be able to relate. So like the music, like, it made an impact on my life. It kind of changed my life. Like, basically when I started taking it serious, I noticed like I had no time on my hands for like anything else. All I knew was music. All I wanted to do was write. Even before I started going to a studio, I was writing. I had like Turtle Beach headphones that I used to play my video games on, and I was recording my raps through that and then syncing it up on the beat on my laptop and stuff. Like, it was like so serious. I was trying to find a way. Like, I need to show people, especially like from my hood, that, you know, if you stick to something and you stay dedicated, you could actually get out the hood. You know, you don't have to get signed to a deal to be successful. You don't have to, you know, hustle in the streets to be successful. You can be successful in your own way. And it depends on like what you want to do. Like, if you really think that you could be the best rapper out there, go ahead. You think you could be the best ball player, go ahead. Like, Harlem got, Eastside, I think in my eyes, got the best ball players. It's just consistency. Do you really want it? There's people that really want it, and there's people that have the talent but they don't want it, or they don't proceed to push it. Like, this is like me with my music, is just showing you could do it. Like, you can get out the hood. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be the next Jay-Z. You don't have to be on a radio. You don't have to get signed to be successful in your genre. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to actually go to Duke or North Carolina to be Michael Jordan. You could be great in your own way. You got to set your own legacy and set it apart. That's what makes everyone different. Like, one way, like, I try to give back, you know, to my area and hood and stuff, is like, you know, just staying involved with like the community and stuff. Like, I was helping out at GDS. Basically, it's like an after-school youth program for, like, you know, troubled youth or youth that's, you know, that's in the struggle up in the heights or whatever. And, you know, like, just giving back to your community. It doesn't have to be, you know, every day, but at least, you know, once in a while, once in a month, you know, give back, you know, show somebody. Like, through that program, I met a lot of people, and, you know, I got to tell my story. And when I told people my story, they connected because they're familiar with that, with the area. You know what I'm saying? It's the heights in Harlem, like, down here is two different areas, but it's something that everyone can relate to. If you're from the city, you can relate to it. And, like, people felt my struggle through my songs, and then I felt their struggle through what they was telling me.
Balls in the pocket, in the hood, selling drugs, made a profit. Started at the bottom and I'm still on the ladder. Broke is a joke, but it still even matter. Even when you do good, they still gonna tatter.
We help each other, build each other. Like I try to make sure I give back to my community as best as I can, cause and I gotta try to be humble about it at the same time, cause even when you're up high or whatever, you can always fall down, you can always get knocked down. Nobody's place is really secure in life, so you gotta be humble about your upbringings and what you do, cause if you're not humble, if you don't give back, and the way I think about it, you'll never receive nothing good. If you're not giving, you'll never get that return back.
Hiding in the sheets, love me playing peekaboo. Moscato on my kicks, Chanel on her lips, hands on her hips, jeans with the ribs.
Basically, like, gyms is like where everyone went to go get their luxury clothes at, like the True Religion jeans, the polo shirts. This is the spot right here. If you was from the Eastside, everyone knows what gyms is. You feel me? Like, that's like where you got all your gear at and stuff. So yeah, so like basically like, when the store opened up, they had like all, the latest clothes and stuff, polo when it came out, True Religion, and now they just go with the trends. Whatever, is popular in the streets. You come to gyms, they got your polo, True Religion, BBC. Basically like, fashion was like, basically like, a lot of people was in the hood, people was struggling, but they still was trying to, stay fly and have all the latest gear. So when they was coming here, to look, up to par.
Sitting and talking with your girl, eating up dinner with your girl. Can't be out here.
Alright, so where we about to go? We about to go to 100th Street. Basically that's like one of the shelters that I was actually at with my family. Like, that was actually the last one that we went to. So before we moved out and got our apartment and stuff, we was always in and out of shelters and shit. So, that actually also played a part into my life, because like, I seen it and stuff, and I was like, that's not a spot that I want to go to. Like, I would never want to put my family through that. So, that's like one of the things that actually motivate me, with the music and shit. So like, even outside of music or whatever, like even with school, like, just trying to get out and not trying to put like my future or even my future family or whatever, like in that predicament again. And, nobody should have to experience that even at a young age. But, when, that's just like one of the things that just motivates me, after, like when people go through like a hardship and shit, you never want to go like back to that predicament once you've seen it all. You would never want nobody that even to go through that. So it's good to go back there just so, I could get a sense of mind and, think of, like, just to remind me where I was at before, where I'm at now, where I want to be, and where I could actually go back to if I'm not careful with my moves and if I don't, stay on track. If I don't stay on track, I can end up there or probably even worse. Alright, so like this is like the last shelter that me and my family was actually in. It's actually shit, cause we was always in and out of shelters and stuff around the city and stuff. Like, I could probably say that we've been like, we was always on the move. Like every time something, good happened, there was always something bad that followed up, and like it was just a lot of, family problems, a lot of shit just going on. But like this was like the last spot. Like I remember this so quick. I remember going to school on 120th, right back by Jans or whatever, MS-45. And I used to come out and I used to be low going to school because I didn't want nobody in my business. I was always one of those kids that I act like everything was good, but nothing was really good. So I was always like, quiet about it and really speak about it much. But now that I'm older and stuff, I learned to like kind of embrace it and stuff. Tell my story, like actually gain the courage to actually tell my story through my music. And like when I come back here, it just reminds me of where I could go back to. If I don't pick my path right, and it's like a reminder. You don't want to go back to this. You don't want your family to go back to. You got to keep doing what you got to do. It just changed me, like my mindset on like how I should plan for my future. You get what I'm saying? Because like even though you could plan for something, there's always you always need a plan B, because you could have this plan and something happens and it might put you 2 steps back. And I seen that with my parents. Like every time something good was happening, there was always something bad that happened or something that took us a step back. I'm just grateful because like shit, God, he gives opportunities to people and stuff, and sometimes the opportunity could be right in front of you, and it just takes, you have to be able to grab it, you know what I'm saying? You just can't let the opportunity go by, because once it goes by, it could be gone forever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I went from, like, losing valuable items and stuff, and, like, I know how it feels to, not have, those high-end clothes that everyone was rocking in middle school and stuff. I remember getting teased and people cracking jokes on me and stuff, or whatever, and, like, I learned the value of everything, like, from materialism to, just to my needs, my wants. I learned a lot of stuff from, like, growing up. So now, like, as a person, it makes me, like, I do my move, like, I make my moves accordingly, because, like, I'm just grateful. I don't tease kids, about their social status, because I've been there before. I've done that, you get what I'm saying? Like, when I find out that someone's in need, I try to help them, because I met somebody that was actually in the shelter. They didn't have clothes or whatever. I had a closet full of clothes and stuff that I never really wore. Went home, got the clothes, bagged it up, brought it to the kid like a couple days later. You know what I'm saying? It's just stuff like that makes an impact in people's life. And because I felt that kid's pain. 'Cause I was like, that person also been in the shelter, and I know how it is, trying, like, not having clothes or not having, like those items that you can't get when you're in a certain situation. When you're in a shelter, you can't walk around with fly clothes, because you're in the shelter. You don't have a place to go. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a lot of money. You're not dealing, like, there's certain factors that you can't control, and there's things that you don't have, and I know that feeling. So when people tell me a story, I'm always open to listening. If I could give a hand, I'll give a hand out to people.
La 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 la. Netflix and chill. And Netflix and chill. Netflix and chill. Netflix and chill. Netflix and chill. Man, this shit is so real. Netflix and chill. Man, this shit is so real. Netflix and chill. Man, this shit is so real. Netflix and chill. Man, this shit is so real. Like, Netflix and chill. Man, this shit is so real.